So the first issue of the most anticipated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic book, The Last Ronin, has been out for a few months now. And surprise, surprise, they dropped the identity of the Last Ronin in the first issue. In this video, I'm gonna give you the overview of the Last Ronin issue 1, and by the way, this is going to be a spoiler overview, so I warned you. What up, Geektron here, and if you love nostalgic franchise like Ninja Turtles and any shows from the 90s and early 2000s, consider subscribing. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you can get all my videos right when I upload. So let's get into this. The first act of the comic book starts with the mysterious turtle Ronin talking to himself, convincing himself to jump into the river, which looked like sewer water. That's how nasty it looked. It's crazy, we have seen this picture already in the previews. He breaks into the city, starts to walk through some alleys, and here's when we get to see the city and who he's talking to, which was his brother, which I believe this dude is going through some serious trauma for losing his brothers. Ronin gets desperate to get into the tower that we saw in the previews, so he steals a motorcycle, which come to find out is from some girl called Jones, which is probably Casey Jones' daughter, maybe? Here is where we see that this dude don't care about losing his life. He literally blows up a fuel truck to send him flying to get into the facility. This dude is on a suicide mission. He will do anything to get his revenge for his brother. The explosion caused a massive attention to him, which is where we get to see these cyborg type foot soldiers. Here we get to see Ronin beating the living daylights out of one of them. We see that they're part human and part machine. Ronin shows no mercies to them. He was dicing all of them up, body parts everywhere. We see them fighting outside on flying cars, futuristic, reminds me of the Fifth Element. Here's where we get the glimpse of the main villain, Oroko Hiroto, the main villain of the story, so-called Master of the Foot Clan, the Shredder's grandson, Karai's bastard son. Which is weird to call him bastard son, like who's the father? Is it Casey Jones? Kind of resemble him. Casey Jones might have 2 kids in this story. The girl called Jones in the beginning, and now Karai's bastard son. This will be an interesting storyline. So we get to see Oroko Hiroto wanting this fight to be broadcast to the entire city, basically showing people what happens when you mess with him. But to me, he seems like a wimp because he looks like he's too scared to fight. And that's why he sent all his foot soldiers and even flying mousers to take Ronin out. If it was Shredder, he would have went himself. Oroko was shocked to see Ronin. He even mentioned that he thought he killed all of them years ago. The Ronin end up losing the fight with the flying mousers, flying off the building, landing on the concrete street, spitting up blood. We see the citizens surround him and the robots looking for him. But the Jones girls was there with her group, misleading the robots to another direction. And that's when we see Ronin crawl into the sewer. The comic book goes back to Oroku, and here we see that his mom, Karai, was in some type of coma. Then we go back to Ronin and we get to see him take off all his gear, bleeding to death. We see him looking at his brother's weapon and bandana, saying, "I miss my brothers and my father, and I wanted to make him proud." He was about to end his life with Leo's sword. And that's when the Jones girl walked onto him and was shocked and said, "You're a mutant turtle," like she heard about them. He passes out and sees his brothers. They all look like they was glowing. I guess he was seeing heaven. And then he wakes up to a pretty old, wrinkled April O'Neil. Like, she was like beat up, scarred up. And he was shocked and asked her, "Is that really you?" And she said, "Yes, it's me." And the biggest line of the comic book, when she said, "Who are you talking to?" "Michelangelo." So Michelangelo is confirmed as the Last Ronin at the end. And I'm assuming that April O'Neil is the mother of the Jones girl, because he passes out in front of the Jones girl, and he ends up waking up to April O'Neil. This issue to me was pretty dark and definitely reminded me of the IDW comics. The story so far is dark, greedy, action-packed, and I can't believe Mikey is the last Ronin. But now I want to know how the other brothers die. I'm assuming the other issue of the comic book is going to answer that question, and who is the father of the Jones girl and the Roku's father? Is it Casey Jones? The Last Ronin issue 2 release date as of right now is February 17th. So be on the lookout, and I can't wait to see what happens next. It's going to be spicy, my friends. So are you guys shocked that Michelangelo is the last Ronin? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe for more videos just like this one. Thanks.